Okay, folks, welcome to Detroit. Raptors back on the road. Game tonight against the Pistons. It's a 7:30 start, pregame at 7, and Raptors going in without Amir Johnson. Ankle injury, keeping him out of the lineup. And Detroit, a team that had put Richard Hamilton back in the starting lineup. Interesting that he lost his starting job just before they played the Raptors, or just before the game on the 11th of December against the Raptors. Now here comes Toronto. And he just got it back, started last game for the first time since December.
What a joke it is, though, the way that they've handled this whole ordeal, this whole mess with Richard Hamilton over the course of the season. I mean, you know, we're maybe not privy to some of the information that's going on behind the scenes. You know, we've talked to some folks, and I don't know about you, Jones, but the people I've talked to haven't really indicated that Richard Hamilton's been a bad dude or anything, or that there's been any real reason on his part for the way that he's been sort of treated and handled over the course of the season. And I don't necessarily mind that Detroit didn't go and trade him, because if the price wasn't right, if they weren't getting back what they thought that they could or should get for him, or if teams were reluctant to take on his salary because of the stage of his career that he's at, I get all that. But how do you not play this guy? As I said to you back in December, you can't tell me that the Pistons, as they're made up right now, are better with Richard Hamilton coming off the bench, let alone not even playing for X number of games.
Well, this game tonight, it'll be a real test for the Raptors, because I know they stand 2-1 against the Pistons on the season. But in fact, Detroit's outplayed them in 11 of 12 quarters. It was basically the last half of the third quarter and the fourth quarter on the 11th of December that turned that into a big win for Toronto, the biggest comeback in Raptor history. But other than that, Detroit has played much better. So it'll be an interesting test for Toronto tonight. See what they have. I think that one comeback game in December said a lot about the team. The fact that they were a team that was unwilling to quit and came back from such a large deficit. But, you know, they got their work cut out for them tonight, no question.
You know, as Jonesy mentioned off the top, no Amir Johnson tonight, so the starting lineup stays the same as it's been for the last couple of games, with Reggie Evans coming off the bench, Ed Davis in the starter's role. And it'll be interesting to see if Jay Triano, Jonesy, does what he said about a week or so ago in terms of maybe giving some extended minutes to guys like Jared Bayless down the stretch here, just to see, you know, what can we get from Jared Bayless long term? What kind of a player is he going to be? Is he a guy that's a backup? Could he maybe be a starter one day, etc.? So we'll see if that's the case, because I believe on Sunday afternoon, in that close game, after having a pretty good third quarter overall, Jose Calderon only played about 3.5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Bayless got the bulk of the time, so we'll see if that's maybe the case again tonight. And remember, Bayless was the one that really spurred the comeback in that big comeback that the Raptors had in the Palace last time here.
Big thing about Bayless is his defense. I think something went on against New Jersey over in London, England, the light about his defense. I think that's the thing that's going to keep him on the floor eventually, and he'll learn the other stuff, but if he can play the defense, I think that'll earn him some playing time.
All right, so that pretty much does it. I know a lot of eyes are focused on the NCAA tournament now, with a couple more of the play-in games tonight, and then the tournament itself starting tomorrow, so maybe we'll weigh in on that on Friday as we get a chance to recap some of the games, if we do a rare home vlog. But then when we hit the road on Saturday, we'll have a lot of these things coming up over the course of the next week and a half, as we'll be hitting the West Coast, 5 games in 7 days, with the flight on Saturday and the first game in Oklahoma City on Sunday after that home game on Friday night. Busy times coming up as we are entering the final month of the season.
Trucks going by, lunchtime. See you tonight, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 tip.
They can't hear you now. It's over.